Just a Kiss, Part 3, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. If you have not heard the previous 2 parts of this story, you can find a link to them in the description box below. If you find the narration pace to be either too fast or too slow to your tastes, you can click the settings wheel and adjust the speed. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below in support of more fan fiction.
Nathaniel?
His dad tapped softly on his door before walking into his room and sitting down on the edge of his bed.
Yeah?
He mumbled, pressing his face deeper into a pillow.
I know I'd said I'd take you to school today, but your friend's here to pick you up.
My friend? Who could it be? He got along well with his class, but he didn't have anyone he hung out with after hours.
Blonde, pretty, blue eyes. I have to admit—
What? Nathaniel sat up straight, tossing a pillow to the side as he did so. Was it Chloe? Was she here to rat him out to his father? How long has she been here?
Not long,
his father said. He watched as Nathaniel flew around his room, searching for his jeans and clean socks. That's not specific enough, Dad!
A couple of minutes tops. Don't worry about it.
That's a couple of minutes too long! He didn't want to face the wrath of making Chloe Bourgeois wait this early in the morning. He stopped floundering around his room just long enough to look in the mirror and run his fingers through his hair before bracing himself to go out to the kitchen. The living room and entryway were visible from there, and he knew he'd have to deal with her unpleasant demeanor. Chloe had a bodyguard with her who gave him a polite nod as he walked in. Nathaniel returned the gesture, feeling somewhat awkward as he did so, and made his way over. Hey, he said. What are you doing here? Building an alibi, she said, not looking up from her phone. What? Well, in case you're actually brave enough to release that photo, it'll be better for me to at least look like I know a loser like you. Daddy would kill me if he thought I was kissing strangers. She slipped her hand in his before he could wrap his head around her words and dragged him out the door. The bodyguard grabbed his backpack off the floor and followed them to the car. To his relief, Chloe let go of his hand once they were in the car, scooting away from him with a disgusted look on her face and pulling out a bottle of hand sanitizer. Chloe, Nathaniel began. Don't talk to me. Not here, not in school. You got it? We have nothing to do with each other. People are going to ask why we arrived together. Say what you want. I've got my own excuse to use. And what's that? Figure it out yourself, loser. She got out of the car and slammed the door as he unbuckled, leaving him behind. Thankfully, there weren't enough people in front of the school to notice them going in together. Talk about dodging a bullet. He went to class with his head down and pulled out his notebook to sketch, relieved that it wasn't the same pad he used yesterday. Knowing Chloe, she might have given him a ride as a means to steal the drawings she wanted. Why did she want them anyway? It didn't matter. For now, he should just focus on his art. The next chapter of his webtoon series was coming out in 2 days, and he still didn't have it done, so he may as well put the nervous energy into that instead. You aren't drawing Chloe again, are you, Nate? He looked up to see Max leaning on the desk. No. This is for my comic. Dude, did you see how many page views you got yesterday? Nino asked, patting him on the shoulder. Nathaniel didn't realize he was behind him until he spoke. What do you mean? On your comic, the view count was at what? 3,000 before? You're at 7K now. What? Nathaniel pulled out his phone and clicked the internet icon. He had the page bookmarked and, sure enough, the page count increased dramatically. There were over 8,000 views now, with an extra 200 bookmarks and 50 people added to the email blast. How? Dude, you do realize Chloe has 500,000 followers, right? Someone tagged you in your post from yesterday. Who put it together? I don't know, but now the entire class knows about your Instagram account. Great. It explained a lot, actually. With his luck, the school would be talking about his account instead of the kiss from yesterday. Of course, Nino continued. I wouldn't be surprised if people followed you after what happened yesterday. He felt his chest tighten. Yeah, I can see that. Also, can we talk about that? I mean, the way you fell on top of her? Hilarious, my dude. I don't think Chloe's been that embarrassed since Marinette called her out for cutting Jim. Wait, what? Have you forgotten already? Dude, it was hilarious. How I fell on top of her? Yeah. Man, not to be a bully, but I kind of wish someone got a photo of it. Then again, they'd have Sabrina up in their face trying to get them to delete it, but still, priceless. I think that image will survive my foggy memory of high school after we graduate. Did they not? They didn't see it. They didn't see the kiss. A rush of relief washed over him, and Nathaniel began to laugh, covering his face with his hand as he bent over, stress melting away. Yeah, I guess it was. He could use this. There's no way that Chloe mentioned it to anyone else. She had too much pride, and that made the photo he took yesterday that much more powerful. He didn't know what he was going to do with it, but it was key to her never bothering him again. Nathaniel glanced down at his phone, reality setting in on just how much one drawing of Chloe did for his career. It was like Nino pointed out, dramatic results. So if he got her to collab with him... No. He'd have to blackmail her, and he was above that. Rather, if he did that, he'd be stooping to her level. Then again, his comic got more than twice the amount of views than it usually does, which would mean a spike in ad revenue, which meant he could upgrade his talent and surprise his mom with a visit if it lasted long term. He did want to see his mom more often. With a better tablet, he'd be able to work faster and therefore take on more commissions, too. Yeah. He'd do it. He'd stoop to her level. It was no longer just a kiss. Thank you so much for listening. Part 4 is on its way. In the meantime, you can check out these other fanfictions. I'll catch you next time.